In a time when the world was at war and every decision mattered, one man's secret work changed history. This is the story of Richard Sorge, a spy whose brave actions saved Moscow and helped shape the course of World War II. Richard Sorge was born in 1895 in Baku, Azerbaijan. With a German father and a Russian mother, he grew up in a mix of cultures that taught him to see the world in many shades. He got a good education in Europe and later joined the Soviet Communist Party. His sharp mind and quick wit soon led him to the Red Army's military intelligence, known as the GRU, where he learned the art of spying. The late 1930s were a tense time. On one border in 1938, the Battle of Lake Khasan broke out between the Soviet Union and Japan. Although the Soviets won, this fight hinted at the challenges ahead. Newspapers like Pravda talked about these battles with both pride and worry, reminding everyone that danger was always close. At the same time, world leaders were making bold moves. In 1939, Stalin signed a non-aggression pact with Germany, but this uneasy peace would soon be shattered. After his training with the GRU, Sorge's life took him far from home. He went to Germany as a journalist, a cover that let him mingle with important people. Later, he moved on to China, where he worked as an agricultural journalist, a role that allowed him to gather intelligence while studying a rapidly changing society. During his time in China, Sorge built a wide network of contacts. It was there that he met Ekaterina Maximova, known as Katya. Their connection was deep and personal, and when Sorge later returned to Moscow, he brought Katya with him. In Moscow, he even wrote a book about Chinese agriculture, a testament to his work and his experiences abroad, while Katya became his life partner and steadfast support in turbulent times. By the early 1940s, Sorge found himself in Tokyo, working undercover as a German journalist. His charm, intelligence, and ability to blend in helped him gain the trust of influential figures, including Eugen Ott, the German ambassador to Japan. Ott saw Sorge as a loyal Nazi supporter and welcomed him into his inner circle. Unknowingly, he gave Sorge direct access to top-secret German and Japanese military plans. Even more incredibly, many of Sorge's intelligence reports were sent under Ott's name, making them seem more credible to those receiving them. This gave Sorge's information an extra layer of authenticity, one that Soviet intelligence relied on heavily. But Sorge's life wasn't just about politics and espionage. He was also a man of deep passions. He had a scandalous affair with Ott's wife, a secret whispered about in elite Tokyo circles. It was dangerous, reckless even, but Sorge had always lived on the edge. In 1941, as war raged on, Sorge sent a message that would change the tide of the war. He revealed that Japan had no plans to attack the Soviet Union from the east. This vital information allowed Stalin to make a bold decision: move the massive Siberian troops from the Far East to help defend Moscow. But Sorge's most critical message came before this. In May 1941, Sorge warned Moscow that Nazi Germany was planning an invasion of the Soviet Union. His sources included high-ranking German officials and Japanese intelligence officers who had access to German war plans. He reported that Hitler would launch Operation Barbarossa on June 22, 1941, specifying that three massive German army groups, Army Group North, Army Group Center, and Army Group South, would push deep into Soviet territory. Sorge even provided details about the German panzer divisions, air support strategies, and the scale of the attack. His reports outlined how Army Group Center would move toward Minsk and Smolensk, how Army Group North would advance toward Leningrad, and how Army Group South would target Ukraine and the oil fields of the Caucasus. However, Stalin dismissed Sorge's warnings, suspecting them to be disinformation. He refused to believe that Hitler would break the non-aggression pact so soon. When German forces finally attacked, Stalin was caught off guard, and the Soviet Union suffered devastating losses in the first months of the war. Despite being ignored, Sorge continued his work, ensuring that his next crucial message, that Japan would not invade the Soviet Union, was taken seriously. Thanks to this move, the reinforcements sent from Siberia helped stop Hitler's invasion during the bitter Battle of Moscow, a turning point that many newspapers, including Pravda and even foreign outlets like The Times, later credited as saving countless lives. Across the globe, the war was taking shape in dramatic ways. In June 1941, Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa, invading the Soviet Union. Historians say he was driven by hatred and the belief that the USSR would collapse quickly. Meanwhile, Japan, still smarting from earlier defeats like the Battle of Lake Khasan, chose not to attack the Soviet Union. Instead, they set their sights on Southeast Asia, leading to the attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941. But even heroes pay a price. In October 1941, Sorge was captured by Japan's feared military police, the Kempeitai. He was tortured, forced to confess, tried, and hanged in November 1944. Stalin declined to intervene on his behalf with the Japanese. Yet his sacrifice was not forgotten. He was posthumously awarded the title of Hero of the Soviet Union in 1964.